All right, folks, I'm back. And again, thank you for joining our webinar today, our global webinar days. Usually we're doing one of these a month, but we've got some additional material to cover this month. So we're staging another one about 2 weeks after our last one. So today's topic is Impress Your Management with Funky Reports. My name is Paul Kurczynski. I'm one of the sales executives here in Infosim USA. And I'll be your moderator for today's event. And joining me from our German office, but in fact, in our Austin office today is my colleague Christopher Kalkhof. And Chris, you can go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Hello, thanks for your time in advance. I'm responsible for the global business development at Infosim. So I'm glad to present you the new feature from our applications, and I think we get a good title. It's How to Impress Your Management. So take a look on the agenda.
Absolutely. Here, I'll go ahead and do a couple of housekeeping items just before you get started, Chris, but I know you bring a wealth of knowledge. Yeah, no, that's no problem at all. Bring a wealth of knowledge to the Infosim team, and I know you've done a lot with StableNet the last couple of years. But before I turn it over to you, it sounds like you're going to get started, and we do have a nice turnout today. I'll just go through a couple of housekeeping items. Everybody is in a listen-only mode, so if you do have a question, and we highly encourage that you raise your hand and ask one, just go ahead and post the question in the Q&A little window in the portal there in your GoToWebinar portal. And at the very end, we'll go ahead and touch on all those questions. So please don't hold back. We'll see if we can stump Christopher with one of your questions. Also be aware that this event is being recorded, and everybody will receive a notification on how to archive the recording in about 24 hours from now. And finally, and I know a lot of people are interested in this, we are giving away 3 Amazon gift cards. So I advise you to answer the trivia question at the very end once you close up the session, and we'll go ahead and pick the winners and send out those notifications accordingly within a day or so. And I think that covers everything here. Chris, you ready to get started?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right, all yours, my friend.
Thank you. So let us go through the agenda. It's really easy. I want to explain you the daily workload of an SLM, it's a service level manager, with real-time data. It's not marketing gimmick. And I want to tell you something about the needs of the management, what they have to know of the powerful application, StableNet application, and how to impress the management. Will the management be an enemy or friend of you? Short live demo from the features, from the report engine and the Excel output file. Let me go on to the requirements for the reports. That's all what you need this. And then we have the part of question and answers. So first of all, workload of a service level manager. What you have to do, he's responsible, you have a daily view to all services are running in the entire network. I have some real-time screenshots here because in my former job I was SLM for 2.5 years in a big German bank. So these screenshots are real life, and I don't translate some screenshots because they are very funny German English words. It's called like User-Verfügbarkeitsstatistik. It's mixed. It's very funny. So you will see here, it's a complete, I think, overview of the workflow. What you have to do now is you have to look, in the case of issues, how is the escalation, are the tickets open, is the SLA correct, and so on and so on and so on. Then the service level manager have to look to internal and external trouble ticket control in case of, if you have in your entire network, a wide area network, you have some provider and external partners, you have to check this one. And then that now comes the hard work from the service level manager. He has to combine all the data for a real-time view. He has to combine and prepare all the data in individual time frames to individual recipients. And last but not least, he has to report a summary of all these topics to the management. What the management needs. The needs of the management are: management needs a transparent real-time view from the top of the entire network. We call it in Germany the green dot syndrome. That means the management only interested in a 100% availability network. That means the green dot syndrome. And if something happens in the network, the management needs direct information in case of operational relevant issues in the entire network. And they want to have an overview of all active resources like switches, servers, services, and so on. But this is completely provided by StableNet. But now comes the workload for the SLM. You have to prepare all this data for long-term meetings with a really tricky agenda like this. The management wants to have a graphical overview of the web service availability over the last 6, 12, or maybe 31 months. They want to have detailed quality of service data from the voice network. And maybe they want to see availability or how many user licenses are in the stock in relation to the increase of staff members. All kinds of these things or the reports the service level manager in the past have to do manually. High workload, not so easy to catch all the data from different sources, to go to colleagues, to the team, and so on. It was hard work to design these reports manually. And I think now we will have to see how to impress the management. First of all, you have to check with the management the relevant KPIs. What is the interesting point for the management? What kind of data the management needs? Ask them. Ask them what kind of data, in which terms, and so on. And then you design an Excel sheet with this input. That's a normal workflow. But now comes the new one. Now you are able to fire up your StableNet GUI, go to the report engine, apply your Excel sheet, and then trust the results. It's important. The data comes from your own network, from your entire network. Trust the results. I think now I'm going to a live system. I want to show you how this works. First of all, I show you an Excel sheet. This is a really, really easy Excel sheet. From the last webinar, I have some data here. I will swipe it out just a moment, so you will see how it's easy to fill up the data inside. So diagram is gone there. So I go now to other sheet in the Excel with a simple, with my personal simple Excel knowledge. I go to the sheet, say, okay, this is an important data for me. I have here. So now I copy this one, very easy. Paste it. And then you have data in the diagram, very easy. And if you look on the sources, these are the source sheets. Very complex, but this is the summary for the management. It's only to give you an impression how easy it is. If I do this more complex or less complex, I go to my StableNet installation, here, the Future Live System. I go to the reporting, and now I will create this. I will modify this, show you in a very easy way. So you should be a little bit patient because of the live system. The server runs in Germany. And now we are at the report wizard. Please open. Now here is it. I'm able here to modify the name, the schedule, single settings like a single report, daily, monthly, report time definition. And here's the important thing. Here below we are able to import our Excel sheets. I'll show you how easy it is. I go to open the template manager. and like magic, should be open. To wait, yeah, here it is. So I go to import, funky report 3, give him a title. Now I'm connected on my desktop. I go to my Excel sheet, what I prepared before, say open, and say okay. So you have to wait a moment because from Austin to Germany back, and now the Excel sheet is inside. Check it, I modify the report. I go back to the wizard. Just a moment. I'll be patient because I know that's a live system. It's okay, here we are. Report type definition. And now I have here funky reports 3 for the template. So now I say okay. Check here now. This is the configuration from the lines, from the rows. This is an important part. Here I'm able to design the email recipients. It's very easy. I take here sales reporting, add. I look at this, show the recipients. I see here some guys inside in the mailing list. I have for multi-intention system, I have the possibility to add group customer selections, to add customer groups, and then it's okay. And that's all done. So after this run, here I have an archive. I run the report. The system provides me a new Excel sheet via email. So like this. You see, I have here now the data inside, totally dynamic. I go to the sheet, the first data sheet, and here you see sophisticated new things. We are able to export the data in a real-time data tables. That means that you are able to sort, to filter, and so on. The lines in front you see here as a real export. You see the dates in a right format, and you are here able to sort, to filter the data. And if this all is done, you have in front of, for your management, a pivot table, and you are ready to present in every kind, in every way what you need. It belongs to your knowledge from the Excel. It's I'm a sales guy. I'm business development. I'm not a programmer, but I'm able to combine several sheets, the output from the StableNet, in a perfect management summary sheet with my Excel knowledge, and it's ready. And the magic, this will be an automated process for the future. That means on Friday noon, the management wants to know how the service level is. The system done all the work automatic. Send the email to the management have the Excel sheet with the summary, and I think the management should be impressed. So now I go back to my presentation. What do you need for this? It's very easy. You need the most current version of StableNet. Then you have to book a workshop training funky reports with a professional engineer from Infosys. It's very important that you learn how to use the report engine. That's not a training for Excel. That's a training on the report engine, that the right data comes out of the system direct into the Excel sheet. And then that's the most important thing, ask your management regarding the KPIs. And I think that then you are able to present the management the results, and it's running. Here, a nice gimmick. Later, if you get the handouts, we have a portal here. This is a direct link to David Hock's seminar, webinar, Presentation Automation Integration. It's maybe the same topic. So you have here the direct backlink to this webinar. So if if it's all done, I think the management say, oh, I have to promote this guy because he is able to show me how powerful is the StableNet application, how powerful is the report tool, and how powerful is Excel. And this guy is able to use Excel. So I think you are in a good position if you do this job with this report engine. So now we come to the question and answer part. It was a very rough, very fast way for the webinar. So I think I asked Paul, did we have some questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Great job, Chris. And we'll see if we can test your green dot syndrome here real quick and see if you can get green dots in all the questions. But we do have a couple questions asked here. One is there a handout for this presentation? And there is a PDF version of the slide presentation. I'll go ahead and post that here in a second. But the second question is, how can I book this report's training? Whom do I have to talk to do so?
It's very easy. Contact InfoSim. Contact your responsible sales guy or project manager, and we will organize it. Online, on-site, per web, all kinds of possibilities.
Okay, very good. Will this be an offline or online training? Meaning, both. I guess, an on-site training.
Both. It depends what the customer, what the partner needs. If you need the training on the live system, we are able to come to the customer. Or you only need the webinar, we are able to do a webinar. It depends on the needs from the customer. We are completely open for this.
Okay, and question number 4, how profound does my Excel knowledge have to be in order to do this on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah, 1 to 10, okay. My Excel knowledge is a 2. If 1 is the lowest one and 10 the highest one, I'm a sales guy, I'm a business developer, and I have no programmer knowledge about Excel. You have to experience. Experience is the best one, but I think it's 3, 4. You don't need so much Excel knowledge.
Okay.
Advanced basic knowledge, I think it's the right word for this.
All right, perfect. And what version of StableNet will I need in order for this to run?
With this feature, you have to run 7.5.2, and in the future, in the next few days, 7.5.3, and it's all running.
Okay. And the last question is, or actually we've got 2 more questions. Do I have to book the training?
Yes.
I think that's part of question 5, or the
no.
Yeah, the question we already had. Okay, that's a segment question. And the last one,
you don't have to. If you are able to read the documentation, and you've done all by yourself, it's possible too.
Okay, perfect. And the very last question for you, and so far you're all green, is do I have to have a license, a specific module to have this functionality?
Yeah, it's a report engine, the license for the report engine, that's all. No additional licenses.
Perfect. All right, good job. So basically, we're able to answer all these questions and more. Feel free to reach out to us, any of the staff here at InfoSim, myself or Chris. More than happy to answer your questions regarding function or reporting or any questions in general. And as we mentioned before, there will be a recording of this session. It will be available in about 24 hours. There will be an email that goes out with an archived link. And again, there is a small question at the end to win the Amazon gift card. Feel free to stay on after we're done here, answer that question, and we will notify the winner shortly. And that's pretty much it for today, folks. If you do have any more questions, feel free to log that question at the very end. We'll leave the session open for about another minute or 2. And again, thank you for joining, and we appreciate your questions. And have a great day. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Thank you for your time. Bye.
All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and log off. Again, thanks for joining today.